How you doing, YouTube? Matt Massive Beer Reviews back with a little bit of Pariah brewing up in this piece in the form of their proper ESB. Yeah. This is extra special bitter coming in at a whopping 5.4% alcohol by volume. It says here, proper is an exercise in modernization. With the underlying addition, admiration for extra special bitter of yesteryear, we are putting a can-do, will-do, must-do mentality towards bringing you fresh on the style. A fresh take on the style, sorry. It's a proper thing to do. In your glass, you can expect a deep amber color sporting refined hop notes of orange marmalade, peach, and grapefruit, supported by a beautiful biscuity treacle and toffee malt structure. This beer is for those of you who have come to appreciate the classic styles of distinction without pretension. Excellent when paired with life's simple pleasures. Drink 180 days from date code. There is no date code. It came direct from Pariah, so it's gonna be fresh. Yeah, that's The Shining carpet. I don't know why that's on there. I don't know. I don't care. As long as it's good beer, that's all that matters. So it sounds like what they're doing here is they're doing kind of a classic ESB kind of malt base, but they're doing a little bit of modernization and hop profile. Can be super interesting. One of my favorite kind of messed with F-Duggery beers is Kane's Vengeful Heart, which is kind of an English barley wine with a lot of new school hopping, and that is quite fun. But label-wise, I'm always a sucker for the Shining carpet thing. I'm not a big fan of horror movies, but I dig the pattern. That's why I like the can. Beer-wise, definitely looks the part of an ESB. Rich kind of slight amber. Words are hard right now. It's called brown and gold. Amber. Copper coin. A little bit darker than that. Chilling ale kind of vibes to it. I mean, soft little khaki head on it. Nothing too crazy. So you're definitely looking the part of a malt-forward beer. Let's get a nose. I mean, they're definitely delivering on that malt into things. That kind of toasty, bready caramel, slightly kind of, it's not treacle, it's not that bold, at least in the nose, but it definitely has this kind of slightly kind of caramelly kind of vibe, fudgy thing going on, but very, very subtle. And there is a hop presence here, but it's very old school in the nose, at least. It's very kind of tea-like, biscuity-like kind of marrying between the malts and those hops, that tea-like tannic thing, going with that little biscuity kind of darker, richer kind of maltiness. It smells pretty damn good. Let's dive in. Cheers. Okay. Now, the hops in the taste are definitely new school, but they're not like super new school East Coastiness. A lot of West Coast influence here because there's definitely a hefty bittering component here, a definite piney characteristic to this. So it's definitely leaning heavily on its West Coast roots, but it's bringing that really nice kind of ESB kind of malt base and mouthfeel to the tip, to the taste, whatever you want to call it. It has this really nice, soft, almost casky, pubby kind of softness to it as far as the malt goes in the mouthfeel. With this nice kind of, again, caramel. I'm not going to go treacle level on that. That's reserved for much bolder, more richer beers, but it does have this slightly brown bready, sweeter bread kind of component to it that I really do dig on my ESBs. When you flip the script, you go with that classic hefty kind of, it's got to be, did they call out the hops in here? Cascadey kind of. I don't know if they actually call the hops out on this. It's definitely a cascadey kind of hop presence in here. Boom, excuse me. Burps. But it's tasty and it's fun. It's a nice mix. I mean, it is exactly what they're telling you on the can. They're bringing you a uber traditional malt base and mouthfeel and giving you this really nice kind of fun, aggressive, but not overpowering kind of West Coast kind of influence, the way the hop kind of comes off. And honestly, it kind of drinks more like what I always imagined an extra special bitter would drink like, because for the most part, from my palate, classic BJCP level ESBs tend not to be overly bittering. They're just extra special bitter. That's just the name it kind of carried. I guess it was extra special bittering back in the day, but not so much anymore. This is kind of like if I was kind of drinking new school beer and I wanted English beer, but it was extra special bitter. It's kind of would imagine if I was first getting into beer, which is, I don't know, a cool trick, I guess. I don't know. I like it, though. I think it's fun. It's a cool marriage between that old school and new school. It's executed really, really well. It is equal parts that new school hop and that old school kind of malt base and mentality. It just comes off really, really tasty. 5.4%, right? Yeah, I mean, most of the time I want my ESBs to be smaller, an ABV, so they kind of lean into more of a session kind of beer, but this beer would never be a session beer. The hops are too aggressive on this. So I think I like it at this ABV level, because if you bring it a little bit smaller, I think that hopping schedule gets a little bit too aggressive. Even if you brought this malt base up, I think it has a little bit of headroom for that, but where it sits right now, it's definitely a fun kind of mixture, menage, whatever you want to call it, of the two styles in a very fun way. Let's see. So is it one of the better ESBs I've had as of late? It is. Is it Mount Rushmore status? No. I'll reserve that for old school fare. But tasty AF. And actually a really fun beer. Value and availability in a sucker? No idea. It's Pariah. Well, actually, I was about to say, they're on the West Coast. Well, hey, guess what? They're going to be on the East Coast. They are San Diego proper, but their roots are actually in the East, and they're going to be moving to, I believe, Maryland. So they're going to be an East Coast brewery. I wonder if they mentioned that on here. I didn't even look. It says brewed and canned by in San Diego, but they will be moving. So yeah, so they will be East Coast. So it will be able to be had. Maybe I'll see a price point on it. Who knows? Let's see. Availability, brewery only, and leave you with, if you like what we like this beer. If you like old school English kind of ESBs, but you want a little bit of new school twist, it's on the nose, I know, but this is exactly what you're getting in this beer, and it's done in a really fun way. So if you like those kind of beers, you like that kind of mixture, you like all things shining, you'll like this. So there you go. Review in the books. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Let me know if you've had this sucker. Down there if you want to talk about it. Massive Beers. If you want to check me out doing the social media stuff, Beer Massif. If you want to check me out doing a whole podcasting thing. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. Hopefully enjoying a little bit of Pariah right now. I'll see you next time. Cheers.